convener of the Free the Sheeple movement and leader of the Free Nation in Christ. I greet you and I bring glad tidings. How are you doing this very, very splendid morning? Mrs. Linda, I was supposed to call you. I'm so sorry. I will do that tomorrow. Good morning. Try and rest. Baba, a lot is going on the internet. I won't stay too long tonight anyway. But I feel like I should actually warn you. A viral video was actually brought to my attention. And in this video, a certain lady was seen telling people to borrow money to Japa. A lady was seen giving people advice. Borrow money to Japa. Wahala deo. If you're watching live and you're on your way to UK, do check out Club VBO in Enfield. Club VBO. We had a lovely time there, Taste Buds and I. Big shout out to Victor of VBO. We had a very, very lovely time that day. So do check it out if you go to the UK, especially this holiday season. And those of you in the UK who cannot come to Nigeria and do Dirty December for one reason or the other, do your own Dirty December in VBO and have some fun. Now, let us talk about the upsides and the downsides of jack buying. When they say Japa is not for everybody, let me explain my understanding of the situation to you. I am not an expert on Japa or relocation. If na Bible now, I go tell you where it is inside the book. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Pop my money guns if you're watching on TikTok. Big shout out to all my TikTok family. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen, pop my money guns. Follow my number one gifter on TikTok. You can see my number one gifter right there. Just follow my number one gifter. Like I said earlier on, I'm not an expert on relocation, but I'm 47 years old and I have seen life. I travel regularly. I've been to Canada before. I've been to the USA several times. I've won 2 awards in the USA. I won the Nickelodeon Blimp. That's the Kids' Choice Awards in California, USA in 2013, if I'm correct. I also won the NEA Awards in the same New York. No, that was California. In New York, NEA Awards. I was nominated in 2012. I finally won the award in 2013. I was nominated in 2012 and 2013, and I won the award in 2013. Nigerian Entertainment Awards. If you Google Daddy Freeze NEA, you might be lucky enough to find a picture of Basketmouth and I on the stage. Basketmouth, I think, was the host. NEA Awards. And the award was held in New York. I attended in 2012 and I attended in 2013. So I am not one of those people that you can say has not traveled or does not know what abroad looks like or what abroad is. NEA Awards, New York. I'm trying to see if I can see pictures This is me in California, Kids' Choice Awards. That's me in California, looking like a local man. That is me when I finally won the blimp. When they didn't give me the blimp, they had to send it later because I think they ran out of it. I remember sitting behind Rihanna and Pharrell. Pharrell sat like 2 rows in front of me. I could see I could see the back of Rihanna's head. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, you know. Oh, where's my NEA? Where are my NEA pictures? Okay. Yeah. NEA awards. I can't find my picture. Anyway, Sha, like I said, I shall won the NEA award in all these pictures. I suppose go find them, post them in 2013. So I'm familiar with what happens abroad. Someone said if it was me now, I'll start explaining because I don't take pictures. Even me. You love the green baseball cap. It's VBO, Club VBO London. Club VBO London. Really, really lovely. So I know what it means to I know what it means to uh, live abroad. Even though I've never really lived abroad, I've traveled very often, you know, and it's good to relocate if you have the means to. But I beg you in God's name, relocate properly. Relocate properly. Abroad is not a piece of cake unless you have money. A friend of mine told me the story of how his mom and his dad relocated to Europe. They bought 2 houses, 2 apartments. They're old, so the mom retired and they moved to Europe. They bought 2 apartments. So one of them is going to be giving them the revenue they're going to be spending, which is about 3,000 euros a month. And then they live in their own house. So they live rent free and then they get 2K or 3K euros every month from their property towards their feeding. And that's a very easy life. They worked in Nigeria. Whatever peanuts is coming in as pension is going to be coming there. Then they also own a big land in Lekki, and they're doing a JV. That is, they are erecting high rise on it. And with the kids, they're all going to be sharing the revenue. That's the beautiful way to retire abroad. The best way to retire. Have your money. You've worked, you've been able to acquire property there. You're going to live a soft life abroad. The second best way is if you are young. Like a family member of mine sold their house in Nigeria in Lekki back then before the Naira took the downturn, sold their property for about 200,000 pounds equivalent in Naira, which back then was about 80 million Naira. So they were able to get 200,000 pounds out of 80 million Naira. And they went to the UK and put it as down payment on their house. Few years later, they're able to take a loan on their house to buy another house that will be earning them money. These are sweet ways to relocate. These are the two best ways. You have worked, you have enough money, you buy yourself an investment property, and you buy yourself a living property so you don't have to hassle rent, and then you are still making some money monthly to feed yourself. And if you're wise enough and you're able to use your investment property as Airbnb, you can make as much as 5,000 euro a month. You will enjoy your life. Or you go, you buy a house, you pay a cheaper investment, a cheaper mortgage, you are able to grow. These are for silver spoon people. People will meet money for house, or people we don't work, collect money. The third one is for a young single person who has nothing in Nigeria. You are young and single between 25 and 35. Fresh out of uni, you go there, you do your masters. From the masters, you blend into the system. That is the third best option. You no get anything. At this stage, you can borrow money to travel. It's a gamble. You are young. You get the body to do the work. It will or it may pay you off. It's a gamble. That's a good way to japa. All these three methods, you must have papers. You must have papers. That is, you are going abroad to relocate. When you buy an investment, you go to anywhere in Europe and you buy a house of 300,000 euro or 300,000 pounds. They are going to give you a some will give you citizenship, some might not give you citizenship, but they'll give you an extended stay. They'll give you a reason to stay because you are investing in their country. It will come with benefits. The first two are for wealthy people or people who are okay. The third one is for person we get dream, we get body to hustle. You go there by 25, by 35, you have entered the system, you have blended in, you have understood the system, you now own your own property, you are even sending money back home. That's a good one. The fourth type is getting more and more difficult. The fourth type is for a young family. A husband or wife who gets a job in the UK or the US or Canada that is accompanied by their young wife or young husband, two young people between 25 and 35. They have two small children or three small children between the ages of 7 and 1 year old. That style, you go on one person's papers. The other person sits at home and takes care of the children to save you crash money. You do that to save you crash money. So one person works, you stay at home for 2 years or 3 years till the youngest child is old enough to go to school, and then you now enter the system. That way, over a 10-year period, you have brought yourselves into the system and you have brought your children into the system. You begin to reap the rewards. It might seem hard in the beginning, but this one also pays you off, but one person has to sacrifice. So it's either the father becomes a sit-at-home dad or the mother becomes a sit-at-home mom. One person usually has to. Creche is daycare, sorry, those who don't know what creche is. And creche is very expensive in the US and even the UK. So another scenario is a young family of five, three young kids, seven, maybe 4 and 1, or 7, 5 and 2. You understand? Three kids, not older than 10. Why am I saying not older than 10? It takes a while for your kids to be able to blend into the system in such a way that you are able to raise enough money for their university. Kids usually go to school, to uni, from 16 in the UK, the US, or Canada. You will not have made enough money in 6 years to send your kids to uni. It will be a struggle, and then you're going to struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle. Then your children will finish and you are burnt out in 20 years, and then you believe your children owe you their whole lives. It's not going to be comfortable. So it's better when you go when your kids are 6, 7. The oldest is 6 or 7. That way you have enough time to work and blend them into the system, so that by the time they get to university, even if you don't have money for uni, they've been in the system long enough to qualify for student loans or all those kind of things. From 17 to 18 in the US, 7 years is still not enough for you to be able to blend into the system properly and be able to get your papers and be able to sort out your children, especially if none of you are citizens. 7, 8 years is not enough. 10 years is a good time. Within 10 years, if you not get money, your children go borrow. If you have a child in Canada, for instance, and the child gets the benefits children get in Canada monthly, if you're prudent enough not to touch that money, it's not your Gucci money, it's not your Fendi money, you are prudent enough to save that money. By the time the child is old enough to go to uni, that money can send the child to uni. I know a few people who do this. But you see, as long as you don't have what we call black tax, you know what black tax is? You have poor family members back in Africa. Sorry, I don't drink water, pour for my chest. I don't know why the mouth of the something go bend like this only. I'm sure they stacked crates, because I usually buy crates of this water. So they just stacked it one on top of the other, and very annoying. So sometimes you've got to be able to log out on your family, log out on your past, so you can raise your future. The reason why some of you struggle just like your parents struggled is because the same quicksand that was sinking your parents is still sinking you. Sometimes you just have to opt out. Sometimes you just have to sacrifice your parents so you can raise your children. No use your children university money take care of your parents. It's stupidity. It is foolishness. Hello? If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Pop my money guns. Where's my #1 gifter? Don't. Send your parents whatever it is you can afford in such a way that your children's future is not jeopardized. The reason why all of you are hanging around all these Nigerian pastors when they come abroad is because you have not allowed the system to solve your problem. The system abroad will solve your problem. But when you have too many problems back home, the system is not like the system in Nigeria. There is no wham money. Nigeria, you go just sit down somewhere, somebody will just carry deal, come give you. You've got to learn. I'm not saying don't send your parents money. Send your parents money by all means. But out of what you can spare, don't put yourself inside loan. Don't buy yourself because your mother needs to attend a village party or because your mother needs a new house in the village. Those are not priorities. House in the village is beautiful to have a house in the village. It's beautiful, but don't ever count on it as investment. It's beautiful. It's good for the black man to be able to have a house in a village he calls his own. It's actually important, but it is not compulsory and it is not an investment. I'll tell you why it is important. It is good to develop your home. When you go and build a house in the village, you hire local contractors. This person will come and build and do the decking. This person will come and lay the foundation. They will work. They will make money off you. You are creating an economy in the village. But let me beg you, in the name of whatever deity you serve or consider holy, don't ever think that it is an investment that can pay you off. It is an asset. Your children want to come and marry in the future. You bring them to Nigeria, you have where to stay. It is a luxury. A luxury that is actually a liability. Let me say that again. It's a luxury that is a liability. You go to a big man's house, the big man has a house in the village. He goes to his village house every 2-3 times a year. He stays there, he hosts his guests. Now, big man, if you never reach status of big man, no build house for village. Oh. Build investment property. That Canada where you dey, buy house there, use and rent. If they fear say Canada system no make sense, cross over to America, buy house for America. E not far. Don't build an investment property in Nigeria unless it is in a prime property and you are building strictly for enterprise. You are building for enterprise. Meaning, instead of me, for instance, building a mansion in my village or even building a mansion to live in, I'd rather build on that same property 10 flats. Then I can now stay in the top 3 flats. I stay 2 flats here and 1 flat here. So the flat here will be like my penthouse, and then the 2 flats here will be like my living quarters. Then the remaining 7 are for rent in a prime property. Ikoyi, Lekki, Banana Island. Then you know that every month you are getting 15 million naira per house in 7 places. That's an investment property. Or you are building it and you are selling it. As a developer, you will make money from real estate. And somebody who understands investment in real estate, you will make money. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine wanted to, when they first set up this estate, he wanted to buy. That time I was buying. So he said, Daddy Freeze, where did you buy your house? I bought off plan. You know what off plan is? They just took us to the land. The land looked like a waterlogged land, like they said, this day where your house will be. I was brave enough to put my money down. So I know one day alone, now I advise my friend, say, Baba, come put down your money. Now, we went to their site in Aja, where they had finished building they had a unit each of the duplex, they had the terrace, they had the 3-bedroom and 2-bedroom flats. So we went there, we saw all of them. That time, the 3-bedroom flats were going for 15 million. No, the 3-bedroom flats were going for 20 million. The 2-bedroom flats were going for 15 million. The terrace houses were going for about 40 million. The duplexes were going for about 50 million. This was in 2013. So as your pocket reach, if na terrace, your pocket reach, you buy terrace. If na duplex, you buy duplex. If na 5 bedroom, I mean, sorry, 3 bedroom flat, your pocket rich, you go buy as your pocket. So my guy said he wanted investment property. I wanted a house to live in. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for a 4 bedroom terrace. And I'll tell you this funny story. Taste Buds laughs at me all the time. Actually wanted to get a duplex for 50 million. I wish one day I'll call Taste Buds. But then the new Rolex 40 date, that's the Rolex President, just came out, and it was about 8 million. So I went to meet, it was Jennifer that invited me to lunch with the Rolex people. So we went for lunch. We had a nice lunch in some Japanese restaurant. And they told me about the watch, and I put my name down. And then, like 6 months later, the watch was ready. You understand? So one of the reasons why I didn't buy the duplex was I was like, make I no use all my money, go buy a house. Make I use 8 million inside, buy Rolex. This boss today yak me till today because, in all fairness, the duplexes are much bigger and there's more space at the back, and you can park more cars. Because my own house, for instance, I have just a 2 car park. I don't regret though, because the Rolex that I bought for 8 million is now worth about 50 million. The Rolex appreciated slightly in dollars and very well in naira. The house lost value in dollars, appreciated in naira, but lost value in dollars. So, so that's this, but she'll tell you that anytime we're passing the duplexes and I say, man, I for buy this duplex. You say, hey, no, but you won't buy gold Rolex that year. I just wish I had bought stainless steel Rolex 3 or 4. I would have sold them now, bought gold Rolex, and probably still bought my house. But anyway, we always learn. At least I have a house and I have the Rolex, so I thank God for both of them. But you see, my friend wanted to buy 2 3 bedroom houses for about 40 million. Problem is, he told his mother. So his mother came, said she wanted to see the house. They showed her the house. Each of the houses have one car park. Someone says, so stainless steel Rolex is cheaper. Yes, it's much cheaper than the gold, but it triples in value. So for the price for that 8 million, I probably will have bought. 8 million was about $45,000 back then. Because I paid in 2016. I booked the watch, but I had the money down so that the watch will not come and I'll not have money. 8 million was about $45,000. $45,000 will have gotten you 3 of them. And those 3 watches, you will have sold each one for $30,000. So you'd have made $90,000. And then you can imagine what $90,000 is. But anyway, let's go back to my friend's story. So my friend brought his mom, and they showed the mom the plan, and the mom said, no, I'm not going to allow you to waste your money like this. You want to spend 40 million naira to buy 2 houses when you can come to Benin and use that 40 million to buy 2 big duplexes. And then inside the duplexes, you will have your own compound. You will, no, we will live in one and rent out the other. Now, so my friend Mama convinced my friend, say, make you not buy the duplex. I said, okay, what can I say? Fast forward till today. My friend's house in Warri, I mean, no, not Warri, Benin. built two beautiful mansions, or beautiful house, of course, very beautiful compared to what you will have gotten in Lagos in a 3-bedroom flat with 1 car park in my estate. But guess what? The rent of that house is about 350K to four. I think they just increased the rent to 450K a year for the whole house. Meanwhile, rent for the flats, the 2-bedroom, the 3-bedroom flats, is about 4 million naira. Right now, 3.5 million, 4 million. At 3.5 million, he will have made 7 million a year. Rented a 1.5 million, that's probably the best house in that whole Benin for his mom. And still giving her an extra 1 million a year. And he will be left with 4.5 million a year. So when it comes to investment, your parents don't understand it because they don't understand how to hedge against a foreign currency, especially if they are not well traveled. If your father has house in London and house in Nigeria and measures how much he put into the house in London and how much he put into the house in Nigeria, and his returns, he will be able to tell you that no put money for Nigerian house, so put money for abroad house. But when your whole papa property for in life now local property, he buy the property 15 million, the property is now worth 100 million. In his mind, he has made money. If you calculate the dollar when it was 15 million and the dollar now that it is 100 million, you will realize that it's either he's just breaking even or he's even losing money. I don't know if I'm making sense to you guys. So you need to be able to build investment properties. Rich people can build mansions. When you see people like, what's his name? That guy that has Bill Point. He just bought a mansion for his mother in the village. B Lord. B Lord is a wealthy man. He can afford to buy a mansion in the village because that's not where he did not buy the mansion to make money. He did not buy the mansion to secure his future. He bought it as a gift for his mother. You do not make the kind of money B Lord makes. Me, I don't make the kind of money B Lord makes. The last thing on my mind is to buy my mother a house in the village. When I get to B Lord's level, I will be able to look at my father and decide that it is village house that is my next priority. But there's a certain amount of money you need to have. If you never get that money, village house na luxury. Investment property na im be key. Someone like Bilo that is worth several billions, he can afford to buy whatever he wants. He's a billionaire. Don't compare yourself to billionaires. You that are a billionaire, you to go and do what billionaires do. We that are upcoming billionaires, we try to do the things that would favor us. And when we get to billionaire level, we'll now act like billionaires. You cannot tell a billionaire not to buy a house for his mother in the village. It's impossible. He has the money. Someone said he's into real estate and not watches. House in village is not real estate. Don't ever let anybody confuse you. House in Lekki, block of flats in Lekki that you can use for shortlets. Hotels, those are investment properties. That's real estate. House for village, as far as I'm concerned, na liability. Na rich man fit afford am. Hello? Na rich man fit afford am. Anywhere that it is not prime property, I mean Port Harcourt, Lagos, Abuja. Some places in Anambra, because land is very cheap, but it is not still easy to build an investment property in Anambra is not easy. It's easier in Lagos, Abuja, and maybe Port Harcourt, or all those cities that they have a lot of commerce, where somebody can come and rent your house for 5 million naira a year. I'm not sure about you. I'm not sure about Enugu. I'm sure about Lagos and Abuja. That's where you can get investment properties. If not, buy abroad. You will say, I want you this thing. Buy abroad. A house you live in Nigeria is not an investment property. A house you build to rent. But my problem is, before you choose a city, hello, you two people, before you choose a city, find out how much it costs to build a house and find out how much you can rent the house for. The only places where the rent is high enough to justify the building is Lagos and Abuja. All those other places, you will get somebody to rent it, but you not get somebody to rent it at a price enough to justify the expenditure. Somebody say billionaire, no be billionaire. Person they drive one motor of 250 million naira. You say it's not a billionaire. Please calm down. He's a billionaire several times over. He's a billionaire several times over. Person if you count 250 million to buy one motor, forget the houses. You use $250 million to buy one motor, and that's not your only car. Calculating cars finish. Only in cars go reach like 400 million, if not more. So what I'm trying to explain to you is don't miss the story here. Neoma Canada, you don't need to insult him. Say a billionaire pass your papa. No need to insult the guy. The guy says he's not a billionaire. You educate him. So location matters. When you go abroad and you want to invest your money in investment properties, not liabilities. Okay? Now, let us now talk about the times when you should not travel. You are 45, your wife is 40, your first child is 18, your last child is 12. Now suffer, you won't go suffer unless you are going with papers. Now, there are some people who live in Nigeria and are hired abroad as expatriates. Fantastic. Japa, carry your family. But you work in a bank, you have attained a certain level, you are 40-something years old, you have a wife and grown children. If you japa, you go walk like donkey. Oju baby doesn't come all the time. She's always busy. Vidoma has exams. If I remember clearly, Tosin is asking for them. So, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to japa, the normal japa say you won't go find work. You are 45. You have one child that is 20 or 18. The second child is like 17. The third child is like 15. You go suffer. Because you are jackpying with university level and almost university level children. All of una go see when. And at 45, You don't want to put in 10 years of hard labor. You will be frustrated. You will be frustrated and you may end up being depressed. Some people will tell you they did it and it worked for them. It doesn't work for the majority. It doesn't work for the majority. It might work for one or two people. Does not mean someone is a DFD Nigeria, they tell people how to live in abroad. Now, wow. Like I always say, the number of people I know, I'm talking this night, there are 500 people watching my live, 540 people, 300 on Facebook, 168 on YouTube, and 56 on TikTok. The amount of people I roll with, interact with on a daily basis is more than the one you know, despite the fact that you live abroad. I know more people in that abroad than you that live there. I came to that abroad and I was able to gather 80 people to do Free Nation conference in that same abroad. The fact that I'm in Nigeria and you are abroad does not mean you know more than me. Let me be very honest with you. If I really wanted to gather 250 people, I did not know the worth we have. Initially, we booked a hall for 45 people. By that time, we already had 60 people on ground. We looked at it. The people said if you bring in more than 45 people, they will close the venue. So we had to go and get a bigger location last minute. I'm telling you because I also interview people who do this Japa thing. Japa is a good choice, but sometimes age is not on your side. You can be 70 and still Japa, but that Japa requires a certain amount of money. At 70, you are going to the UK or the US and you buy two houses and you live in one and rent out one. You are not the mate of somebody that is going there at 40 with children to come and put in 20 years of manual labor. It all depends on your circumstance. I don't know if you can feel me. I don't know if I'm connecting with you. If you're watching on TikTok, hey, somebody just popped me a money gun. Let me give them a big shout out. Hey, I can't see the person that popped me money gun. Oh, I think I need to download the latest uh, TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok, please follow my number one gifter. If you're watching on Facebook, first person to buy me 1,000 stars. I need to sell my stars. Oh, do you know I've not sat down to sell my Facebook stars? Oh yeah, Facebook people. First person to buy 1,000 stars. If you're watching on Instagram, go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze. DADDYFREEZE. Bottom left hand corner, you see how to buy my stars. If you're watching on YouTube, hi YouTube family, how are you people doing? If somebody has good skills at old age, don't you want to live soft life at one time or the other in your life? When you go abroad and you want to offer skills, it's not going to be easy. Someone says in the US, the person will be very okay if he has the right people around him. Remember that in your 40s and 50s, you don't have the energy a 25-year-old has. You don't have it. And then you are not going to have worked long enough to qualify for the benefits in old age that you really want. So it is a gamble. Would I advise somebody to borrow money to Japa? My answer is yes. In your 20s, if you have papers, and where you are going to is sure for you. Not that those ones that are doing you Yahoo, telling you that they will help you get work, only for you to realize that they are doing you Yahoo. Yes, you can borrow money to Japa in your 20s, maybe even in your 30s, maybe possibly in your late 30s, never in your 40s. Never borrow money to Japa in your 40s. If you're over 40 and you have money, you can Japa, put a down payment on a house, start work. It can work for you. But no borrow money to come and enter the labor system in your 40s. You'll be frustrated. You will be frustrated. You will be frustrated. Also, if you Japa in your 40s, make sure your skill set or your educational qualification is the one they are looking for in that place you are Japa into, to avoid. I know people who have Japa and have not gotten work. I know people who have Japa and have not gotten work. So you need to be very careful when applying the principles. You see, this type of hat I'm wearing, if you look at the back, is one size fit all. You get small head, you go bring them together. You get big head, you go expand them. Japa no be one size fit all. Some people size no dey japa. You go frustrate. Now, if you don't have papers, avoid japa, avoid borrowing to japa completely. If you are jackpying illegally, don't borrow money unless your condition in Nigeria is so poor that nothing is working again and you are just taking a stab in the dark. If you no get papers, no borrow money to jackpa o. If you no get papers, I don't talk like 3 times. No borrow money to jackpa o. If you dey young, you fit borrow money. Once you don't dey reach 40s, even if you get papers, no borrow money if you no work, na gamble. But if you are, someone said nothing is working in Nigeria, is a lie. Is a lie. Nigeria is a mess. But people are still making good money in Nigeria. My neighbor just bought 2023 Highlander. 2023 Highlander. He bought it a week ago. If you can afford that in Nigeria, I don't know why you want to jackpot. Also, when you are jackpotting, he's a business owner. He owns his own business. Also, if you are jackpotting, your country of primary residence, where you are going to, is very important. Jackpot to UK They different from Japa to US. They different from Japa to Europe. They different from Japa to Dubai. They different from Japa to South Africa. They different to Japa to Canada. Man of prestige said, DF, make I come hang out small on IG. Send £10, $10. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Facebook people, you want to come to Instagram so I can bring you live? Oh yeah, send £10. Make I begin to bring you live. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Send me request, man of prestige. Let me bring you live. There are levels to this Japa. I'm closing in the next 10 minutes. I didn't want to stay long. There are levels to this Japa. But the worst thing you can do to yourself is Japa illegally to a bad country. You go to look yourself for mirror, they do it waka to yourself. If you must Japa, so Okene says that he frees the professional online beggar. You are very stupid. Why did YouTube put super chats? Why did why did Facebook put stars? And why did TikTok put all the gifts, like 100 gifts? Why? So that we can share revenue. And you don't realize that when you buy, they boost my channel. They take more than, you see, Ekene APC, you are daft like your father. But the only problem is your father cannot afford a phone, so he's not harassing anybody online. He's chasing small house girls around the neighborhood. So his nuisance factor is a neighborhood nuisance factor. You inherited your father's bad head. Why will you be awake on my live talking about, and let me break it down to you. I hate to tell you, but all these stars, they are not up to 1% of where the real money is online. No. It's not up to even 1% or 2%. So all of you that think we are making money from stars, you are just fooling yourself. You don't even know where the real money is. We are doing this so we can boost our channels. You don't get it. Why did YouTube put it there? Let me tell you something. I refuse to activate my super chat and super stickers on YouTube until the agency following me said they are not going to manage me again, because I'm not going to get traffic on my page until I start pushing my stars, because YouTube specifically wants to push those who are pushing their super chat. That's why I went to activate it like 2 months ago. You guys were there the day I activated it. This star money I buy is the peanuts, the smallest peanuts in online. We will not tell you where the secret is. But you see, when you are daft, like Ekene, you are dense. He's an Olori Buruku. He knows. He's feeling sorry for himself right now. He has nothing he's living for. And he's just like his father. Let them tumor it for you. They're blocking. Rapture. And you see the beauty of YouTube. Once you rapture, all the comments where they don't, they type, they come. Even on all my other old posts, wham, everything will just go. Right now, I have only one money gun on TikTok because I'm talking about something serious and I don't have time to actually sell my money guns. Baba, if I was selling my money gun, I have only 74 people watching me. If I was actively selling my money gun, guess what? I will have about 500 people watching me right now. Lizzie Clark 56 just popped a money gun. Thank you, my sister. Those people that believe in our market and try to sell it. So I want to open my live for you people to share your Japa experience in 10 minutes. Do you agree with what I've been saying? By the way, if you've Japa to the UK, do check out Club VBO in Enfield. You will really enjoy it. Ekene don't go open another account. He said you're pushing of stars too much than the average YouTuber because I want my channel to grow. I do live videos. The average YouTuber does not use my format. He records videos. I do live videos because I have conversations with people. But you too dense. You rapture once more. You don't go open second account. I don't rapture your second account. Now you go use that your papa will not get sense account. I go still rapture him. Let me bring Wilfred Asukwo. Wilfred is gonna talk to us about this Japa. Like I said, I'm only on for 10 more minutes. Hey, Alexandra, sweet baby, how are you doing? Follow my number one gifter if you're watching on TikTok. Follow my number one gifter, Wilfred.
How you doing, sir?
A handsome man. This one know everything about Japa. He don't do air hostess, he don't do pilots, he don't do everything. Hey, they understand it. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
So what are your thoughts?
Once you survive, all of them, make your papa, make them go down for farm, make them leave you for us. If they don't social media at the work, when I leave that they freeze for us, leave him alone. I've been saying they should leave you alone. Those are inside a religious center. When I go,
make they go. May they go.
And the freeze.
So,
all right. So before I run away, this conversation that the freeze is saying.
Hey Alexandra, thank you very much. Send me a gift. Hey brother, the other guy, your network is loud. Oh, we can't hear Wilfred. Sorry, I had to remove the other guy. All right, Wilfred.
So, if you are 40, like Daddy Free said, and you go to Japa, no borrow money, take Japa. Listen, I've been in the US now 14 years, and I came as a single man. And I didn't have to borrow money to come. I came to train as a pilot. And there are people I met here. They were here over 10 years before I came. And I can tell you for a fact, a lot of them are still where they were. So, you can Japa 40, 45, but two factors. Don't borrow money, like Daddy Free said. Number two, mind the country you Japa to, because a lot of those countries, your transitioning can be a little bit very difficult, extremely difficult. And I'm saying this because I support and I help a lot of people who wants to Japa for studentship in North America. So if you're applying by yourself and you're leaving your family behind and you think they will join you later, you go hard. Now, I want to add something. In hierarchy of which country you should consider first, US, Canada, UK. Go in this order. US, Canada, before UK. You see that UK? When you go to UK, make sure your plan is on point. Or else, after you enter, you will go back home. I have a lot of contacts in UK, and they
Wilfred, hold on a bit on that thought. I want to join you in there. But first of all, let me give a big shout out to Alexandra, who just bought 4 money guns. And Lazy Clark bought 2. And Barry Weleme. I hope I got that. Barry is right now my number one gifter. Big shout out to Barry Oshigo. Follow Barry if you're watching on TikTok. Now, let me tell you something. US, like Wilfred said, is the best place to Japa to. Ogbole. There's space for thief, there's space for lazy man. Canada, you will never be rich.
You will never.
You will be rich in the US if you know what you are doing.
Yes.
Canada, you will live a comfortable life.
Very comfortable.
UK, you can even be poor. You can japa to the UK and be poor. The only advantage these three places have over Nigeria is because they have a working healthcare system, they have a working law enforcement system, your life to be
Working.
stable, everything works in all the three places. But don't think you will go to Canada and be a billionaire. It is very tough.
It's tough.
And don't think you will go to the UK and be a millionaire. It is even
And
tougher.
add to it in Canada that it is. Canada, they are very lonely. Their social life is very zero, like zero level. And the cold when go blow you for there, you don't get part two. So yes, it's better off Nigeria. Things are working, but in terms of career growth, you might be stagnant for the longest time. If you're a goal-driven or career-driven individual like some of us, Canada, you will not have fun. So, but usually, like a lot of my clients, after they get to Canada and settle in, they carry their load and come to the US, or they sit in Canada and secure a job and move to the US. Now, US is a liberal country. You have people here that don't have papers. They make money than people that have papers. There are so many opportunities. You can sit in the comfort of your home and you'll be balling, like you'll be wondering, do I really need paper? I have a lot of clients that don't have papers. They don't even make hustle to do the papers because they are making no before year. But people complain in UK like, oh my God, Canada is still better. But UK, the good thing about Canada is you can easily get Bali than US. That one, no,
100%.
But in the US, if you want to survive it, you just have to like be rugged. You die here. If you don't show, you don't show. You got to go through the process and make sure you hit your Bali. But going back to what Daddy Free said, don't borrow money to travel because you wouldn't know what you are coming to meet over here. If you have to borrow that money, make sure you are young and make sure you are single. Be around 20 and max 30, 35 is still okay. Don't and ensure that you don't have family so much to take care of. Because when you show up here, you want to live under pressure to pay that money. And you make wrong calls and you make wrong mistakes. And above all, should you want to travel, always have somebody on ground who will tell you the truth and what you are coming to face. Don't count your eggs before they hatch. Some of us, we don't in Nigeria, work for mouth, make $10,000 even before we show. And after you show, you don't even have place to put your head. By the time you do security for 2 weeks, that could blow your head for New York. You will know what time it is. But by the time you are going to work direct care and you cross some certain boundaries you were not supposed to cross and you find yourself in prison, you will definitely know what time it is. And to add to that as well, when you enter the plane, drop that indiscipline back in Nigeria. All these countries.
Two things you should drop: your indiscipline and your ego. If you want make money abroad, any work they give you, you go do. There are people who are entrepreneurs who still have to get jobs so that they can be in the system.
I am entrepreneur. Should I still go to work? So drop that ego over there at the airport, that indiscipline. Drop that gra for there before you show. And then, we know how to beg. When we break the law, you beg and beg and beg and beg and beg. Beg no, they work for you. For this Yankee. You get some crime when you go commit. You won't even have an opportunity to beg. And you can't be black man or black man, not even worse pass. Forget it. You find yourself somewhere you don't like. So if you are 40, 45 and you are so used to having all these shortcuts to making riches.
Listen to what somebody said. I was a manager in Chevron. I swept when I landed here. That is from I am Jatman. Of course, you are no longer sweeping now, but there will be that transition. First of all, let me also give a big shout out to Alexandra, Lizzie Clark 56. Lizzie Clark has popped 3 money guns. And my number one gifter is still the very able-bodied Barry Neme Uemele. Barry, please teach me how to pronounce your name. Now you be my number one gifter. I'm supposed to pronounce your name well. Follow my number one gifter if you're watching on TikTok. Drop your ego. Very, very important. If you want to survive abroad, that you know who I be, you know who I be, you know who I be. If they work for Nigeria, I know they work abroad though.
Daddy Freeze, see the handwork of your this thing. You know, but class, I get class every night. After I come into your channel every night, my customers they always full up like this.
Small time they go say that the Freeze channel, know they bring them customer. Me and not.
Your channel bring me customers, so you can see my DA class, Zoom call. They are following me. About 24, 25 of them are in class. So I start going down. I come back to your channel.
So now I need to shout out to Apple.Prince101 who says, "Give your life to Christ, Daddy Freeze." I want to ask you, who says I've not given my life? And what made you think that you have given? Because they follow Nigerian Yahoo pastor, where they Yahoo you, collect your money, possibly they knock your wife safe. Wake up. I have given my life to Christ. You have given your life to crisis. That is why you will look at me and think that the best advice you can give me is to join you inside your mumu hood, thinking that is Christ. No, where you are is crisis. Sometimes you need psychiatric help to be able to evaluate your situation. And sometimes you need to be on some type of medication that can help you stop thinking the way you are thinking. But like I said, it's up to you. Apple Prince, I pray you have sense in this life. Continue, Wilfred. Make we round off. Big shout out to my customers, all of you, especially on TikTok. TikTok people sabi buy gifts.
For those of you that are asking me about Daddy, see, I come to Daddy Freeze all the time. And when I come to Daddy Freeze, I get lots of customers. I'm an agile coach and I am an IT consultant and I teach. If I come to Daddy Freeze page for one day like this, for the next 3 months, if I make 20,000, it's small money. Yeah.
Come, Wilfred, I have to increase your money now. She say before now $1,400 you they pay me. Now $900. Wilfred, no more revise this thing. No, have pity on me now.
That is between me and you. We know how we do artists.
No, be say I no appreciate you. I appreciate you, but you see, we did this Naira economy. We did suffer go. This time last year, Wilfred was paying me $1,400 each time he came. Now he's paying me $900. Wilfred is just and he's making the money in dollars. So he's making the $20,000. I want to be like you, Wilfred, when I grow up.
I must confess that the Freeze channel, and I will explain it again to everyone. If you have anything to advertise, come to Daddy Freeze channel. You will make money. And I will explain why from the business analyst perspective. I knew when Daddy Freeze was building this channel, he has built his channel with long attention span followers. If your attention span is not long, don't come to Daddy Freeze channel. So if you want to sell a market, you want people that will listen to you and understand what you are selling. So if you come to Daddy Freeze, after 2 hours, you are still talking. People will be listening to you. So that's why when I come to his channel to sit down and market my product, you can be very sure that for the next 3 months, I will have customers that will patronize me very well before I come back to him. So his channel is very organic. His audience, they have long attention span. And then his audience cut across all the regions in the world, or all the regions of the earth that are going to be listening to you. So you will have conversion of that 1,400 you will pay him very, very well. So I encourage you, market and sell your market on this channel. You will not lose out.
You will not. You will not, by the grace of God. Thank you very much, Wilfred. Alexandra is still popping my money guns. Follow my number one gifter if you're watching on TikTok. Sir Bio said he referred some people to you. Big shout out to Sir Bio. Sir Bio started as my enemy. We they cost ourselves one day. Meanwhile, now we are good friends and I value his opinion. A very smart individual who works in tech and is making good US money. Just got married recently. I remember when people the Japa saying old, he never get wife. He better make you old, make you come marry right. That make you young, go marry problem. If you see Sabio wife, hey, beauty
Yes.
queen,
It is.
as in beauty queen. We get sense, very easy, sorry, very hard combination to marry beauty queen. We get sense. You know, here within the talk say Mr. Ibu wife. They say they ask her, make she mention three mineral resources in Nigeria. She say Fanta, Coke, and Mirinda. No wonder.
Yeah.
Let me not
Somebody
talk.
said there are so many BA jobs in the US. Yes, not just many. They pay you good money, a lot of money, a lot of money. My first corporate job in America was the BA. I was paid $122,000, a lot of money. I did that for 4 years, business and data analysis. That's why I class every month, every single month from 10 p.m. to 11, sometimes 12, because I have to coach as well. You will make a lot of money and you will sit in the comfort of your house to make that money. So, but to be a BA, you need to put in a lot of work. So that's why Daddy Freeze was telling you that when you are relocating, get your skill set together. Don't just leave. Your degree is valid, very valid, but prepare to fit into that society that you are japa into. Don't just carry your load like mama when they go market for village. Say you did just come, strategize and plan. And I can tell you, all these nuggets that the fees they can't give us for free for a year. Some of us they take and they play, but it converts a lot.
Because why I even came was some lady said, borrow money to Japa. And I don't like blanket statements. I wanted to throw some light on it that, look, you can borrow money to Japa, but be careful where you borrow money to Japa to. If you borrow money to go UK, 10 years, you never pay the money back. 10 years, you never pay the money back.
If the person is young, let's say between 20 and 35, single, you can borrow. But if you don't hit that 40, you have children. You cannot predict what you are coming to face.
You cannot.
Because you find money where you put your children and your family in one place.
And let me add something, Wilfred, before I log out. Sometimes Nigeria will bend you into such a form that you are not usable abroad. It takes a certain type of deliverance to remove Nigeria from your system to be able to operate abroad. Some are able to do it in 6 months. Some are able to do it in 3 months. Some 5 years later, they don't understand why they are not growing. It's simply because they have been bent into that Nigerian frame. UK, US, they give you work on Sunday. You tell them, say, you want to go church. Now, problem you find, though.
No, that the phrase, that one self, I can tell you for a fact, all of us, when they do fasting and prayers in Nigeria, they go night vigil. When they enter area, situation go bend them. They not go even remember church. Now those ones when they say village people they enter night vigil and they do overtime on their head, they will still be going to church and be looking for. Literally, you are going to fuel somebody's business. On a typical day, they know they remember church. You don't chase hours finish. They give you hours on Sunday. They complain, you want to pay your bills, paper you don't get. The situation will make you forget the church. Hey, Daddy Freeze, don't even go there. They give hours on Sunday. You want to go to church. How would you pay your bills?
Anyway, make I go spend small time. Guys, that's Wilfred, my brother from another mother. My customer and friend. I appreciate him very much for his continued patronage, and I know that he's going to keep coming. Also, Wilfred is one of the people on my channel who has got the least complaints. In 2 years of Wilfred coming to my live, I think I've only seen one complaint, just one, and it was sorted out. There are some people, if they come to my live on Monday, my inbox don't full by Tuesday with complaint. Wilfred, I can say that about him. I have very only one complaint in 2 years. That he is my client with the least level of complaint. So thank you, Wilfred. Make una help me thank him. Nah, my loyal customer. For all those who have been buying my money guns and my stars on TikTok, big shout out to Alexandra. She's my number one money gun buyer for the day, followed by Lizzie Clark 56. Let me hype Lizzie Clark 56. Maybe she'll take over from Alexandra. Lizzie Clark, Lizzie Clark, Lizzie Clark. Then come, no, they beg Wilfred. All of a sudden, I won't begin the tax him. Make una help me leave him. Someone said he's so straightforward. Wilfred is straightforward. That's one thing I like about him. So thank you all for watching on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. For those who supported my channel, each time you buy stars or money guns or super chats, what you do is you help promote my channel, is what I'm selling. Thank you very much. Sabio said he's a legit guy. If Sabio confirm you for this life, the next thing just begin run for president. That means say they don't confirm you reach house. If Sabio say watch out for you, na problem you dey find. So it seems say he confirm you. Na very good thing be that. So take care, guys. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Lizzie Clark 56 has caught up with Alexandra, but I'm gonna see who's gonna be my number one money gun popper today as we round off everywhere else. Do take care of yourselves. I love you guys, and I really enjoyed hanging out with you this morning.